So it's 10 p.m, night before my challenge starts. Just lying in my tent. It's raining heavily outside, heavily, which is actually quite good for Scotland. That's better. It's usually torrential, so heavy is pretty good. Just after 6 a.m, I'm in Glen Nevis at the bottom of my first of 3 peaks, Ben Nevis. Looking forward to getting started. A lot of preparation and nerves and anxiety, and now I can just put all of that behind me and just hit the trail, start walking. This is it, so I'm off. Here we go. Had a wonderful experience on Ben Nevis with beautiful cloud inversion and peaks like rising above the clouds, so pretty epic way to start the challenge. I'm just about to jump on the West Highland Way and head over towards Kinlochleven and then up towards Glencoe. This walk is a self-chosen mission. I want the open trail to cleanse my mind. I want to taste escapism and freedom on my lips, to feel the adrenaline of an arduous physical challenge coursing through my veins, and to hear the silence of solitude. I want to climb and walk so hard and so fast, I lose sight of my comfort zone and triumphantly smash through the barriers of my perceived limits. I walk solo. I'm self-reliant. I carry everything I need on my back, resupplying en route at shops and cafes I pass. I pitch my own tent, cook my own camp meals, filter my own water, nurse my own wounds and massage my own aches. 10 two-letter words sum it up. If it is to be, it is up to me. Hit the West Highland Way for 20 kilometres, got to Kinlochleven. Suddenly there was a Scottish monsoon and it absolutely threw it down for about half an hour. Got absolutely drenched, and then glorious sunshine came out again, so it's been a very mixed day. And I was meant to carry on a bit, but that view's too good not to camp in front of, so decided to stop a little bit early, enjoy hopefully a really special wild camp. I've been through a tough few years, several big life events, a relationship breakdown, moving house 200 miles away from my friends and family, quitting my job and jumping headfirst into the financial uncertainty of self-employment, all left me feeling unsettled, and I struggled with stress, anxiety and a low mood, and my all-round mental well-being suffered. But even now, right at this last minute before I say this, I feel a sense of embarrassment to talk about this, as if there's guilt or shame in it all. There's a voice at the back of my head telling me to suck it up and bury it, to bottle it up, to not talk about it, to be stronger, to be more of a man, to not show weakness or vulnerability. I know I had loads to be grateful for. I'd moved to the Lake District and was pursuing my career dreams. And part of me still believes that I should have been more resilient. I should have had a stiffer upper lip and been better able to cope with my situation, but I just wasn't. I belittled my own problems too. I wasn't in crisis, I wasn't feeling suicidal, I hadn't been diagnosed with a mental illness, so I told myself that my issues weren't worthy. Other people were going through much worse times and more traumatic things. They deserve sympathy, help and support, but I didn't. I told myself I was just being pathetic and self-absorbed and fragile. I should just shut up and pretend everything was okay. Yet all of these feelings are exactly why people don't talk about their mental health. There shouldn't be a stigma about it. There shouldn't be any dishonour or disgrace in it. And everyone's mental health, no matter how seemingly small or trivial, is worthy. Talking openly and honestly is so important, and sharing your feelings is the first step towards healing. And so eventually that's what I did. I plucked up the courage to go to my GP and speak about my struggles. And I was diagnosed with low-level depression. I was prescribed with citalopram, an antidepressant, and I've been taking these tablets for almost 12 months now. My doctor also referred me to a free NHS course of CBT therapy sessions, and together the drugs and support massively helped me. They almost leveled me out, and I'm in a much better place now today than I was a year ago. And that all just started by just having the bravery, I guess, to address my problems, speak out about them and seek help. Just arrived in Glasgow, and it's a shock to the system, such a stark contrast from being in the middle of nowhere, just out in the Scottish Highlands for a few days wild camping. So it's been strange, but I'm pleased to sleep in a real bed tonight. Tonight I'm feeling so tired. I had that first pang of am I going to be able to do this? Have I got enough energy? Because it's the end of day 6 and I'm pretty knackered, but hopefully I'll wake up refreshed, renewed with energy tomorrow morning. Got into England today, across the border from Scotland, so that actually felt really good, felt like a big milestone. Yeah, I felt really happy to do that. That was awesome. I've just come through Carlisle, about to start the Cumbria Way, so heading into the promised land of Cumbria, and some exciting mountains ahead, so I'm really looking forward to that. I do absolutely love just the simplicity of putting one foot in front of the other. I seem to have been able to enter robotic hiking mode where it just seems completely natural to wake up every morning, put in a 12-hour shift of walking every day. Climbed up from Borrowdale up Scarfell Pike, summited the second of my 3 peaks, which felt amazing. I've had quite a tough day, some really bad weather, some tough hours on the trail. There were a few moments where I thought I wasn't ever going to make it up Scarfell Pike today, but battled through some of the low points, and then felt really great to finally make it to the top, and one more to go. Just got to walk to Wales now. I'm going to be heading down towards Great End and then skirting a bit lower and finding somewhere to camp, so hopefully get out of the clouds, out of the wind, find somewhere sheltered, maybe at Angle Tarn, get the tent set up and get some much needed rest. Out of the blue, during my challenge, I got a call from my brother with some devastating news, the tragic death of an old friend. It was another poignant and sad reminder of how precious life is and about how important it is to talk about mental health, particularly for men. In a WhatsApp group with my best friends from home, we all started discussing mental health for the first time, really. Let's all agree that if we ever start feeling low or down, we'll talk to someone about it. And always here for all of you boys was just some of the messages. But it shouldn't have taken a tragedy to get to that point, and I wish we'd done it sooner. There's a real tangible sense of leaving the mountains behind and leaving the Lake District behind. As I walked out of Kendal, I could look back and see the foothills of the Lake District, so really very much have left the mountains behind now and heading for a few days through a much more urban area. Going to be trying to put in some good mileage and getting closer and closer to Snowdon. So I've just made it to the Welsh border in the middle of nowhere, just in a field, so there's nothing to really signify it, but that doesn't dampen the celebration. I'm really happy to have made it. Feels like one of the final big milestones to have made it here. It's also a bit of a watershed. I've been battling a bit of an urban jungle for the last few days, mostly on roads and through industrialised places, but shortly I'll be getting to the North Wales coast path. Just a few days left, so really excited about it, the kind of final few legs. I used to think that the great outdoors was the solution to all of my mental health issues, but in some ways it was perhaps just escapism, running away from issues, brushing things under the carpet, putting a plaster over a gaping wound. No matter how epic the adventure, old demons always resurfaced once I returned to reality. So, for me, the outdoors could never be a magic wand to make all my struggles go away. Instead, it was just one of many tools in my arsenal and had to be combined with professional help addressing the real root causes of my struggles. the final day, and very shortly I'll be turning inland away from the coast, heading towards Snowdon. So been on the coastline for a few days, been lovely, nice and flat, but there's a big mountain somewhere behind me still to be climbed. After 16 full marathons and 16 days of walking, I suddenly felt ill with sunstroke. Just got into Llanberis. I was just feeling a bit dicey, and then I just keeled over and just threw up on the floor. So I don't know whether it's the heat or whether I ate something dodgy or what it was, but that was not a pleasant experience. I was bent over double, retching over a drain, spewing out my guts. I threw up violently and I just felt absolutely awful. I was nauseous, dizzy, completely bereft of any energy, and I just couldn't believe it. I'd come so far, maybe 99% of the whole journey, and now it looked like I might fall at the final hurdle. I just wanted to curl up in an embryo position and go to sleep. I felt so weak, and it really was a pivotal moment in my challenge. In the past, I'd probably have completely catastrophized the situation. Why is this happening to me? This is completely unfair. Surely this is unjust after all the effort, blood, sweat and tears I've poured into this challenge. I deserve a better ending than this. But over the past year or so, I've learned to be more stoical. I can't control what happened. It is what it is, but I can control my emotional reaction to it. That helped me pull through that low. I didn't panic or freak out. I just dealt with it in a matter-of-fact way. Okay, that's happened. I'm feeling ill. What can I do about it? What is the solution? How do I move forward? If I have to stop now, I can maybe come back in the morning to do Snowdon, and that wouldn't be the end of the world. That stoic way of thinking helped me then, and it helps me in everyday life. Maybe this whole journey isn't just about the mountains. Maybe it's about life in general. The mountains are a microcosm of an everyday existence, a mirror image of reality. The rain and wind and exhausting ascents and long days are symbolic, if you will. They represent the cruel twists and heartbreaking turns of life, the obstacles and frustrations and unkindnesses we all face day in, day out. You can either let those trials and tribulations defeat you, or you can conquer them. And I'm suddenly struck by an inspiring, elevating thought, a conclusion that gives my adventure a deeper meaning. If I can overcome the challenges of the mountains with resilience and positivity, perhaps I can do the same with everyday life.